Alright, so we got notification that the DA's office is going to start accepting electronic submissions for all cases that are filed after October 1st. Not just accepting, but that is the way that they would like to receive them, and it is preferred method. It's something we've been working on for now close to about a year. There were many stages on trying to get this done. One was getting them access to Coban so they could have our videos. The other was getting them access to 4A so that they could have our photos and getting us up on 4A. The last step is us getting the attachments and PDFs out of Spillman and getting it over to a common email address for submission. So that was set up back in March. It's something that Precinct 4 and DPS and others have been using on a trial basis. It seems to be working well, so October 1st it will be launched, and we're going to be joining in that. So I want to show you how to do those electronic submissions. So first off, what I would suggest doing is creating a folder on your desktop that says case submissions. It'll make it a little bit easier to organize things. So just right click, say new, go to folder, and type in case submission. Now we're going to go to the case that we want to submit to the DA's office. So we'll click on law, type in our case number, and click accept. So this is a family violence case. It also has some attachments. So first off, what we want to do is print this and create it as a PDF. So we'll go to print. We'll go down to lwmain.x3 and click on that one and click OK. Now we're going to click this preview button because that's what's going to create our PDF for us. Print main narrative, yes. We'll click this top button here. That will select all of the supplements below, and we'll click accept. We'll then click this top button here. It selects all of the involvements, persons, property, evidence, everything, and we click accept. After we're done with that, it will create the PDF for us, and that PDF will pop up, and we'll go to File, Save As, and we choose where we want to save it, which is our desktop and that folder that we created. That is case submission. Now, this is sort of a odd name, so we want to sort of clear this up here, and we're going to put the case number,
new approval item,
offense report, and we'll click save. Now we'll close that, and now we need to get these file attachments. Open up your files. Now as long as you're on this screen here with your file attachments, we're going to select all of them at one time. You're going to hold down your control key on your keyboard and hit A. That means select all. So now we've selected all of them. Hold down your control key and hit C, as in Charles. And that will copy all of them. Now open up that case submission folder and hit Control V as in Victor, and that will then paste them all. Now if we notice on this one here, it doesn't really have a description as to what it is that I'm looking at. So I'm going to open that, and I see that this is McCrae's witness statement. So I'm going to close this out because it can't be open when we edit it. I'm going to close that out, right click on this and go to rename. And now I still want the case number, but I'm going to put Gray witness statement. So now when the DA sees this, they'll know exactly what that is and if they need to open it or not. So that's it as far as making our report into a PDF. Now all we're going to do is we're going to hit Control A again. That selects all of these. Hit Control C as in Charles. That copies all of them. Now we're going to come over here to our mail, and this right here is the email for DA submissions, da.submission@mctx.org. Now I'll make this a little smaller so we can get some other information. Now first off, I'm just going to put those attachments on it. If I hit Control V, as in Victor, while I'm on this email, then it will attach all of those. Make sure that you're in the narrative portion before you hit Control V. This is where it will paste them. They're all attached now. I have the case number, so I'm going to put under my subject line that case number. And family violence. In the narrative, just to make it simpler for the DA's office, because remember they mainly go off of who the defendant is, we're going to go there. I'll go back to my incident if I don't know it, and I'll click on involvements, and it's Matthew Montalvo. Okay, so this is ready to send. I've gone through my report, I've made it a PDF, I got all the attachments, I made those PDFs, or I copied those PDFs to my case submission. I then copied those into an email to the DA submission email address they gave us, titled it, and put who the defendant is. If I hit send now, that would go over to the DA's office. Some concern people have had is, how do I know that they've received it? We used to get a little receipt signed. Well, that's up here under our options. You click request delivery receipt, request a read receipt, then go back to your message, and from here, when you hit send, now it will request a read receipt, which will email to you when they have read it. It'll also email when they have received it. So you still have the same thing that you would have got by turning it in. Hope this helps. Again, this starts October 1st. So make sure that you start putting your cases together this way, submitting them this way. It'll make it easier for the DA's office. It'll make it easier for us. People are not having to drive to the DA's office to submit cases, which makes our workflow faster and gets our warrants out and our cases processed faster. Thank you.